What's up, Dale?
Hey, how's it going?
You know.
Oh my God. All of this. It's the craziness of it all. My good Lord. The fake outrage is something that's just out of control. And it's just funny. It's like that. It's like the politician walking down the aisle and she smacks her other politician with a piece of paper, and the lady falls down and makes a big dramatic thing of it. Yeah, that's what we have going on here. And we have a lot of fake outrage, outrage, and it's taken away from the real issues. And one of the things that has been hammered away is a very public figure who's ill, and her life, she was famous before her illness, and her illness is being played out live, and having a public fundraiser. And people are, there's some people in the community, we know who, are outraged because she was being attacked and da 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 da. You know what? I had a public life, I had a public career, I had public fundraisers, and it made the newspapers. And you know what? Sometimes I was ripped up in the newspapers too. I don't view that as attack. That's just the normal life of having a public life, having public fundraisers. And your public life is talked about. The public fundraising is talked about. The money's talked about, where it goes, who it goes to, how much it. This is all normal talk. And they've turned this into, oh, these people are attacking her, taking away from the real attackers that were doing harm and spewing very awful, awful personal things. And to make the public talk as an attack and not really addressing the attackers, it coincides with what they've been doing here all the time. And so they need something fake all the time to make an outrage or find a word and have an outrage. It's just sitting on me, and it's just the other night I threw out a word, a word that I knew would attract them all, and they did. They came out. Damn, all these all out accounts came out and went for me, right?
What can you do you not want to say? You can DM me the word.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. It's just
because I miss a lot, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
see that because you have decided to put your foot down and not
Yes.
allow for this kind of abuse and harassment anymore, and you're sticking up for patients in general, that you've put yourself right in the center sites.
and
Like,
that and that goes for the course. I drew a line and say we don't play this game on this side of the line. And people do not like boundaries. And people are furious that I don't let that shit come into this side. Because when you come into this side, there is no politics. There is no games. There's there's it's time for the end of our lives, and we need to take that in and enjoy what we can do and put our efforts where we want to do, whether that's fighting for research or hanging out in the garden, whatever that fucking is. That's our decision, and we're not allowed to have that. And so the attacks are, so I drew a boundary, and I knew the attacks were going to come. And I thought, okay, this is going to handle for a little while, but they keep re-upping it. They don't like this boundary thing. And the thing is, I am here for end of life. I'm here for peer support. I'm here for social services. These folks don't do one fucking thing. They do not. They have attacked mutual aid. They've put mutual aid on block. They have harmed the 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 most needy and the most disadvantaged in our fucking community, and have blocked that. Who does that? And they want to drive home the point. I'm sorry, this is a patient space and a patient experience first. And no, you're not entitled to come in here and tell us how we can talk our tone, please, where we can and where we can't be. You can't. And there's been individuals who've really fought really fucking hard on it, and who think it's their job since January. And January is a big sticking point to them. And it's like, this is when I started my job. And it's like, Jesus Christ, And I don't know how many times I've had to say, hey, we are, the 2020 population is declining and getting sicker fast. And it's so we need a different approach here. And if we're shouting out and vocalizing, then fucking let us. Good God, it's like the mouse flipping off the eagle as it's coming down to get him. Jesus, this is, they are not experiencing this firsthand. They're not experiencing the conditions. They're not experiencing the medical trauma, the trauma from our families. They're not experiencing any of that. They are watching, and it does affect them. And I will acknowledge that. But it's different when you're living it and you're living this fucking disease. And we need more help, not anything. And you know what? The blocks and the mutes do work, but they're just not, they're not being honored by a couple few. And as a couple few, the two non-patients, and we know who they are, they're not helping. They don't retweet. They don't donate. It's nothing uplifting. It's, you go to their page, that one page, and it's all shame. Shaming this doctor, shaming that doctor, shaming, ha 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 ha. It's this seventh grade mean girl table. And we're just going to shame, 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 shame. But we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to hide it when we do it to the patients over here. And we're going to build an account that just attacks them. And so, and now we have a new alt account, and her thing is to come on and say, the attacks on
Oh,
Josh is
wait.
not trying.
Which alt account is it? Because I need to make sure I have them muted and blocked.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. I think
Because
I know who it is. I'm pretty sure I know who that is.
right. I'll send it. I don't want to spark any fires, but she's already spewing and coming on and saying, her whole mission is Josh, really, and that's the whole thing. And to
Yeah.
dispel
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
dispel that.
Think about that for a second.
Right.
Let's take down an organizer for a grassroots organization. Like, think about it.
Right.
Right. And they come after me because, well, I've got a few thousand followers and I get retweets when I support their stuff.
But no, we had to marry you to Josh because you're a misogynistic asshole. Because if we didn't marry you to Josh, then that would just be a transgender attack.
Yeah, I'm a misogynistic asshole who has
Right.
supported women
And so,
since the
but
beginning
when
of
you
this shit and platformed women since the beginning of this. I'm
right,
a misogynistic asshole. Yeah,
you peel
they're
you,
all full of shit.
you peel all this away, and I keep on hammering the fact. It's like you guys are sitting here attacking a transgender organization and 4 women organization and 2 which do direct aid. That's the reality of the situation here. That is 100% of the situation. And it's just like, Jesus fuck, this is nuttier than shit. And the way they turn everything around and twist it is crazy.
Oh, the
Now,
Darvo,
huh?
It's so
Yeah. And
obvious.
so,
Yeah,
I said something that was, appropriate in my community to an alt account that was harassing me and admitting that she was an alt account. And so they twisted it around that I made a sexual threat, and that wasn't the case. That alt account ended up going to her original big account and came in and cussed me out, and I blocked her instantly. And so there's some weird fucking games going on here, and they don't want patients to organize. They don't want patients to have a voice. They want to overhear. And and for the ME patients out there, I feel you. I go through it too. Man, the history, fuck. But your organizations aren't doing you good. They're not doing you right. They're fucking everybody over, and their end game is money and how much money they can get. And it's hurting not only the long COVID uh, population. In time, you're going to see how much it hurts the other populations. Because I tell you, I think they're sitting there eyeing the HIV money and they want to get a big dig in that. Let me tell you, because I've seen how aggressive they have been and the no lengths they have been in hiring Sue Ink Blue as a political chaos agent. And she's a sad political hack. But anyway, it, and that's what lengths they go to. And they will keep her on here and keep her doing her job to distract us. And that's part of why I'm out here and drawing the line and waving my arms up and down, is to distract the fucker so the people behind me can do the work that really needs to be done in peace. So that's what's going on. But I am very firm on this line because let me tell you, when it comes to patient care, comes to mutual aid, comes to end of life issues, that bullshit stops at the doorway. And so when you cross that threshold, it doesn't matter who you've been arguing with or what. You're there. because you need the care, or you're there to help out. And it doesn't matter what happened at that door line when you crossed in. It doesn't. It doesn't. And I'm telling you, and like I said to these folks, the first person that dies, it's going to be reality. I told you, folks, you push folks and they will commit suicide. And what happened? Someone committed suicide in our disability community because they were pushed and harassed, and they knew how to push and harass those buttons. And the same thing that's happening in this community. And so it's fragile and it's not allowed. And the people who are okay with this, who sit silent with this and go, well, I like her little smarky remarks, or I like this, or I like that. No, then just block and mute us. Just put us in our own little cage and leave us the fuck alone. That's what we want, because we got real shit to fucking figure out here. We have people who are dying and having seizures on the goddamn street and trying to raise money for that. And these fuckers want to play fucking games as people are fucking having seizures in the fucking streets. It's not fun. No, they don't want to deal with that because it's not fun. It's not pretty. It doesn't get them clicks. It doesn't. I'm not here for fucking clicks. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I never did give a shit. It's the real people, the real issues, the real things that count. So you can haunt me, you can keep, good God, I've been through this. And it's played out in the press. It's played out in the press several fucking different times.
Here's
And,
what I want to know, Dale.
go ahead,
We
sorry.
brought up the organization. No, because I can hear the pain in you right now, man. I know, and I see it on the timeline. I see what you're dealing with, and I know how oppressive this can be when this is happening and it won't stop. But you brought up the organizations earlier, and you're like, look, I'm sorry, but they're not doing what they need to do. These patient advocacy organizations. Why are they not protecting patients online from this sort of thing? What
Exactly.
I've heard people that work for these organizations, they come out. Somebody like Cynthia Adnick, she comes out and she puts out this big dog and pony show about how LCAP and Long COVID Foundation are not real, this and that. It aged like a ripe avocado, because they clearly are. And, steps in with this sort of moral authority on what's okay and what isn't. You can go back and read all the tweets. But where are they protecting patients right now? How come it's only some patients get protection but others don't? I
How
just, it's all bullshit, man.
how she blew me away. I've never seen it in patient and political world at all. But to combine that, and then to have the media up there, and to come in and say, I have media and a seat at the table and you don't. Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck does that?
You
And
saw it.
sitting on a
You
board of
saw it.
oh yeah, that it blew
I've
me the
never
fuck
had this
away.
conversation with you. I've never heard anybody have this conversation with you. Not that it hasn't happened, but you clearly saw it for what it
Oh,
was.
I was like in fucking shock. We can go back, and I think I called it out. I called it. Maybe I erased it because I was afraid of calling it out. But no, that is something you don't fucking do. And when you're in an organization and representing people, you kind of meet people and patients where they are. You're not too flashy. You don't have this. You don't have that, and you kind of Jesus Christ, you just don't do that. You don't do
This
that.
was
It was
one of
just
those
gross.
key. This was one of those key moments when people started to wake up and conversations started to be had about what was going on. And and the more we talked about it, the weirder things have gotten
Oh,
with folks.
absolutely.
And now we're dealing with these. I'm sorry, but they act like psychopaths. I mean, to attack people who are having seizures in the street, like you said, to do this, and the mischaracterization of conversations. Like you made so many good points, Dale. The very beginning when you brought up, I know we all know who you're talking about. I've said the name a million times. Um, Talking about things that are public, talking about money, fundraising, that sort of thing, asking questions, that is not attacking individuals. That is to be expected when somebody is a public persona and they are raising funds and things are happening and you're putting, like, people are going to talk about it. That is not attacking a poor woman who's disabled. That is not the same thing. This is all of it. All the language that's used, it's all bullshit. All of it, man. And they're using and abusing social media, and they have isolated people with long COVID away from the world that they're already away from. You know, it's wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what to say. But I mean, I've been watching this for what, 9 months now, 10 months. You know, I was centered in it for a while. Fortunately for me, they don't have anything on me. You know, they don't have anything on you either. It's just a constant barrage of empty threats and harassment.
Well, it's hard because it's, like you said earlier, Sue Blue effectively has killed peer support in the spaces by recording them and putting them on the timeline, especially when it's patients, peer support patients, and their most intimate moments of their lives. And you're recording a non-patient, you are a non-patient recording the spaces and putting them on the timeline.
Out of
And like I
context is
said,
what's important. It's an
and
out
so,
of
and then,
context. They are willing to come up into spaces and speak and talk about these things because, and it might be difficult for them to do that, but they're doing it because they know that they want to share. They want the world to hear what's going on and know. So this is, and then somebody like Ink Blue takes a sound bite with no context, reframes it into new context to create a monster out of a disabled person on the internet who found the strength to speak up. That
oh,
is as fucking low as
oh,
it gets.
it's worse than that because they take that soundbite and then she writes the opposite of what is actually being said, and nobody listens to the soundbite. They read what she says, and it doesn't match up with the soundbite, and it happens a lot. And unfortunately, patients are now afraid to come up and speak, and they shouldn't be. You shouldn't be, because I know isolation kills. I've talked about this so many times. I've ran peer groups I've been in peer groups since 1989. I know how valuable they are. I know how important it is. And damn it, this is our only lifeline. We can't go to a peer center and shut the door. We're stuck in the bed, or we're stuck in the property. We're stuck in the house. We don't have
You
that
know,
privilege.
there's a lot of there's laws about cyber harassment, abuse, all that. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about this stuff. I know that something criminal has happened here. Something that somebody can do something about has happened, because we're talking about the abuse of people on the internet that are, sick and defenseless. I just feel like I just can't imagine a world where the kind of stuff that this person is doing is just objectively okay in any sort of, like, in a legal way. That there has to be, I mean, what where do we have to get to a place where somebody ends up killing themselves? I don't want that to happen.
No, that's going to be a hard reality. And and like I hate to be doom and gloom, but when one of us goes, it's going to be a really fucking hard thing. It's going to be a hard thing, a really, really hard thing. And and that's why we need the community. We need each other, and we need the peer support. We need to be able to talk and talk freely and not be attacked for a word or this. It just has to stop. And I've asked for it to stop. I know, and I said I've never ever wanted anyone kicked off this platform, because I do see that, hey, they do bring support to other people. So I don't want to take those people's support away. And do you think they recognize that for us? Do you think they allow that for us, so the people that we, support? No,
Man,
they
I don't know. Like, this fucking, I'm sorry, she's a fucking bitch, and she if it is a she, I have no idea at this
oh,
point.
it's
Uh,
a
it
dude.
it Listen, man, they called me a rapist for months and months and months. I mean, it was
No.
really, really bad.
Well,
And they never had anything. So the only time that there was any real effect on the conversations, on connections on this platform, because Sue was basically nobody, was when they used other patients.
right,
That's the only time when they used Mamacita, and
right,
Mamacita's culpable. Mamacita's culpable. I put out
right.
a tweet about her the other day. Every single one of those statements that I make is factually true and is provable. So, like, there's culpability there, and whatever. But the point is that only when somebody who had a reputation already was used, a patient was used,
Right,
was there a real impact. Before that,
right.
it's just harassment by a couple of troll accounts. Is what, at least, that was the net effect. It right now, other than the pain I'm hearing it's inflicting on you, the damages you're talking about the same thing I was talking about for a long time. The overall effect. Like I don't see them getting anywhere other than doing harm. They're just it's the only thing that's happening is hurting people.
How bizarro is this? They are accusing a gay HIV man who is property bound of rape or sending out suggesting that I would. It's just this is the bizarro world we're in, and this is how low they have to go.
Yeah, fuck that fucking
scrape the shit
fucking
up,
bitch,
right?
dude. She was making sexually explicit jokes about me months ago using a rat dick and balls and stuff, dude. She's full of shit. Fuck her, man. Fuck her. Seriously,
And
they're
again,
just
it's
so
part of that
good.
fake outrage, and so
Yeah,
and they try to find one word and spin it the right way, and let's have this fake outrage. And what it's doing, it's really causing harm to the real bullying and the real shit that disabled folks deal with on a daily basis, and they're minimizing that. They're fucking
yeah,
minimizing that, and that's not cool.
yeah.
It's just like let us have
It
our fucking
numbs
space.
people. It numbs people too when there is real abuse. Like
Uh,
it's. I mean, when there's real calls for action against abuse,
right?
it's really harmful.
Yeah, you know, it just backfires. So, we have a lot of good things coming up, though. I'm really excited about the biomarkers test. And so you can bet that all this scuttlebutt and everything going on is around the biomarkers test, too. It's anytime we take a step forward or organizing or doing something, the attacks will come. They don't want, the big wigs don't want us to, get ahead in any way, shape, or form. That's why they hire handlers so they can handle us. And so it's, and once you call that out and know the name of the game, it's just like, well, fuck you. This is all predictable at this point. And so, but there's some really good work going on, and there's some really good work going on behind the scenes. And so, and every time, damn it, every time when something is important and somebody has done something big, they go down sick big time. And so I just hate seeing that. And then, I just, read a couple of our members, went in for a couple different medications and had a reaction to the medications. And it's just, this is just not the fun part at fucking on at all, because it's like medications that used to work no longer work because there's an ingredient in them that we have a reaction to now. And so we have so much at our hands and looking at, and looking at long-term care, long-term care facilities that fit our needs and our diseases and our diets. And we have so much work to be done. And so, and there's some, work being done in mutual aid, and what Gwen's doing is, beyond awesome, but she's getting attacked there too, and coming in at weird
And
places also.
yeah.
So,
This harassment account has the audacity, not hidden in her replies or hidden from people. People in public health are paid to do the job that I have to do for free.
oh,
Feeling lots of resentment right now. That's what she's doing.
right.
That's what the Ink Blue account's doing, making us all more aware for like helping public health, doing public health's job. It's fucking wild, man.
It's very who is she, what skills does she have, what is her background, what does she bring to the table? This is a question I'm going to ask over and over and over. I know everybody else's purpose here. I know what everybody else is bringing.
Meanwhile, you know what she's doing in her replies? She's participating in threads that are referring to patients with long COVID as long COVID slumlords.
Oh yes, that's the new one, and we know.
Great. Oh, there's my name too. Oh yeah, Dave D-Bone. Yeah,
No, no,
long
no, no,
COVID
no.
barbarian. Boy,
Stay
they
back.
love me.
No, no,
I hope you fucking bitches are listening to me right now. I hope you are.
no.
I hope you are.
Dave, Dave,
God.
the slum.
Yeah.
Stick on that word for a second.
Why can't you focus on building your community without being so hostile to other
Guess who wrote the slum thing?
today?
Guess who?
Like
Guess who talks like that?
what are we doing here? How hostile are we being? By talking about researchers? By talking about the shit that we see on TV and people not wearing masks and other people wearing what would you shut the fuck up? Your mama cron? Your
Ah,
mama
there
cron?
we go.
You fucking anonymous pussy. You're a
I
fucking
don't have to.
anonymous little bitch. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't have to.
Nobody is safe from you and your mob. What me and my mob? Really? Because we're sitting in here. You got Sue that you're associating with. We're talking about how she attacks patients. You guys are out of your goddamn fucking worm-filled heads. Seriously. Can you stop? Have some standards. Come in here, Mamacron. Come in here and speak with me. You fucking piece of shit. Seriously, come in here and speak with me. I'll turn the fucking heat down for you and I'll talk with you. I would like you to come in here and support anything you fucking put out there on the timeline, you anonymous fucking doof. God, I've had it with these people. It's just the same fucking 8 people, anyways, over and over and over again. Your Mamacron. Jesus. It's probably fucking Cindy.
Well, I don't have to GM you that account, do I now?
No. That's
Yeah,
who I thought it. That's who I thought it was, anyways. I've been watching them too. I just like, okay, it's just another, you know. I mean, it's just everybody's got all this. I mean, it's just so dumb. You know what? If you can't come into a space and talk, like I don't care. I don't care. They're mobster like tactics. What the fuck are they even talking about? It's so dumb. Sue, how it started, how it's going. These people are horrible. You're calling sick people on the internet horrible when you record them in spaces and put their shit out there out of context. Like none of these people have a single argument that they can stand behind. That's why they just put this crap out on the timeline. It's absolute trash. It gets what, 50 views, 40 views, 2 likes by the same fucking 2 or 3 people over and over and over again. Like it's like on the one hand, it's like I want to address this and talk about it because it's causing harm and it's hurting people, and I can hear it in you how frustrated you are and fucking and you have every right to be, and everybody else does. But at the same time, it's like these people are nobody. They're like
but
nothing. The only time, bro, that Sue even had an impact is when she used Mamacita, and Mamacita is a proven liar. Like that is that was the damage, and now it's all out in the open. Everybody knows that person's a liar. So it's like, what else is there? You know, somebody's gonna have to build another fucking account, another bullshit account, and then they're gonna have to use that. I mean, look at now. Now they're saying Sue's saying that account is run by Mike. Everyone forgets he exists. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, these people. Wow. Let them just go hang out in OQ space or something. Do they even go there and to like talk? Is that their game? Like, what the fuck, man? Oh, where's
I
Louie?
can't
I need
believe this is
Louie in here.
fucking really happening. It is just, it's just, it's, it's, it's not funny. I mean, it's funny. It's fucking odd and funny. And a lot of the frustration you hear about my voice, it's everybody who's standing behind me and who's standing in the corridors and standing in the shadows because they're afraid to step out. Damn it, it's
Yeah,
about them too,
that's what pisses me off, man. That's what gets me. Is it's like their goal was to silence people, and they did. And I think slowly but surely, people are they're coming around. They're coming around, but it's
They
like
are. Actually, a lot of people who had me blocked, I've noticed, have started unblocking me. They're
same here.
not friends with
Yeah,
me, but they're unblocking. And
yeah,
so, and I think we need to start doing that because there's conversations that we need to have across the board that can't be siloed in one area. And when you talk about end of life, when you talk about peer support, when you talk about social needs, when you talk about mutual aid, it needs to free flowly. We're in the middle of a war with the virus, and this is our safety zone. We don't touch the hospitals. We don't touch the medics. We let them do what they need to do, and we support them. We're in a war with a damn virus and a government who wants to take our mask away and who can't say long COVID. So we're in like this double war. And that's where the real issues are. And it's like when all the ACT UP stuff happened, I knew it was all going to be about fucking words and no actions, and how I can say this big word and this big word. And I'm very connected to this issue, and we're doing deep work and blah, 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 blah. And I'm jumping up and down and go, hey, we have actions items, we have mutual aid, we need help with rent, we need help with social services, and I'm jumping up and down and I'm hitting every damn fucking count, every damn account. The big meeting comes, not one fucking word about all that shit because they want to talk about the words. And feel free to go and read that. And all the people, from the long COVID committee and disability community, they all got together and they got to talk about the words. And then they retweeted their words and retweeted their words and their words. And they're really happy about all the work we've done. And meantime, we have fucking people having seizures in the fucking street and they won't even talk about it. I already knew that was going to fucking happen before the ACT UP meeting, and I knew it was going to happen after the ACT UP meeting, because that's dealing with a fucking bullshit nonprofit and nonprofit people who are usually trust fund babies and very disconnected. And so, of course, they're not going to bring up those social issues or any of those important issues, because it was important about the words and the words being used. And it's just like, oh, this typical nonprofit bullshit. And it drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely nuts. But go look at ACT UP and everybody who responded and who retweets. There's nothing talking about us needing help with rent, food, or biomarkers. And that biomarker research thing, that is in ACT UP's lane. They should be holding that up, going, hey, you know, we need this. This is what they fought. This is what ACT UP fought for in the 80s and 90s. So, I mean, Jesus Christ. And so I'm just like really confused on that level too. I'm frustrated. It's
Saw
just
a
like,
little
what
bit of
the
that.
fuck?
It looked like there was a bit of drama regarding all of that. I've been so sick I couldn't pay that much attention to it.
It was all bullshit words and no action. That's all it was, Dave. You didn't miss a goddamn thing. You just would have wasted time reading it to get to nowhere. And I don't care if people put that out there. I'm not being anti-disabled. I am being pro-disabled and saying, why the fuck aren't we helping them? Why aren't we helping them rent? Why aren't we getting them money? Why aren't we helping them with mutual aid? Why isn't ACT UP retweeting that mutual aid? You know, so it's frustrating, and so I expected more from them, and so actually, yeah, so I'm frustrated on that point too. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
That's fine, man. That's why I host spaces for people going through this shit. The Twitter BS is no, it's just part of it all, I guess. Yeah, man, the mutual aid thing's a fucking problem too now. Like, I remember a couple of years ago when I first got on here, you know, there was people were more they were more open to sharing the mutual aid stuff and helping. And now we're at a place where we've got patients that are frustrated with other patients because they're not getting, they're not sharing their mutual aids and everything. And it's really just sad to watch this all happen. And it's not that people don't want to help, and it's not that those people who need the help shouldn't be asking. It's just that everything has just devolved so much. And really, when we look at this, the reality is that nobody should even be in this position. Nobody should even be dealing with, you know, oh, I've got to ask for money because I need to pay my fucking bills. Like, we shouldn't be here. 4.5 years. This problem is solvable, man. You know, and I just have a hard time watching all this go down. It's just really, really sad, and it's not sad because I'm an observer. I'm part of it. I'm in it. I don't know. I don't know. All the division stuff too. That's just very, very harmful. It's just been very. I'm like you too, Dale. I had there were a bunch of accounts, even big accounts, when when Ink Blue did that shit with Mamacita and did the block list. Dude, I was like, whoa! Like, there are people that I have followed who have followed me back for years that all of a sudden blocked me, and I was like, what happened? And then I found out what happened, and I was like, oh Jesus, really? And now, after a few months, a lot of them have all unblocked me, and I've even had DMs with them, and they've said, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea this was going on." And it's because people are speaking up. So, like, keep it up. You know what I mean? It's not it's not difficult to see if you put it in front of somebody's eyes. Like, it's really, really bad what's happening. There's a big difference between, like, big old bad Dave hosting a space and saying, why does David Petrino, what does he mean by his haters? And somebody who is recording spaces full of disabled people, putting them out of context, calling people rapists, you know, making really, really nasty comments about, we don't want you here, go away, all that. Like, there's a huge difference there. And when people see it, they see what's actually going on, they respond accordingly. Most people are good and decent. So hopefully in time, like, a lot of the blocks for other people will start to go away or disappear, or people will unblock or whatever.